If you ask around the town of Cheydinhal, people will tell you that Rythe Lythandas, a famous painter, has gone missing.
May I help you? Rythe Lythandas is one of the greatest painters in all Cyrodiil. Sadly, he's gone missing. His wife, Tivela, is beside herself with grief.
Heading to the northwest section of the market district next to the Mages Guild is Rythe's house. Upon entry, Tivela will ask you for your help.
Can you help me, please? I'm Tivela Lythandas. I apologize that I can't give you the respect a guest in my home would normally receive, but I am at my wit's end. I'm sorry to be so forward, but I desperately need your help. It seems that my husband, Rythe, has gone missing, and I just don't know what to do.
Tell me more about your husband.
Yes, my husband is the Rythe Lythandas. Have you heard of him?
You can say, your husband's missing. There's no time for idle chatter.
Oh, yes, of course you're right. I shouldn't be telling stories when he could be in danger.
But if you want to know more, you can say, no, please tell me about him.
You haven't? That's strange. Rythe is known far and wide as one of the best painters in all Cyrodiil. His specialty is setting the great forest to canvas. The paintings look so amazingly real that some say they can see the trees sway in the breeze. That's just a silly notion, of course, but it just goes to show the attention to detail Rythe uses when he paints.
And you said Rythe is missing?
Yes, Rythe likes to work in his studio with the door locked, so no one can disturb him. He usually comes out to eat dinner and sleep, but 2 days ago he didn't come out at all. At first I wasn't worried. He does that occasionally. But when he didn't come out for a full day, I unlocked the studio with a key he said to use only in emergencies. It turned out he wasn't inside. I'm sure he never left that room, so I have no idea where he's gone. Please help me find Rythe. I love him dearly and I'm so worried.
Yeah, you can say, look, sorry, I can't help.
Of course. I understand. Well then, I must be on my way. Perhaps someone else will come along who can assist me.
Dejected, Tivela will understand. If you reconsider, she'll say,
have you changed your mind? I miss my husband and fear the worst.
Sorry, still not ready to help.
Then, at the risk of being rude, could you please stop disturbing me? I'm very upset, and the last thing I need are false hopes.
Understandably, Tivela is upset at this.
Have you changed your mind?
If you do decide to change your mind, you can say you'll help find Rythe.
Oh, thank you. I knew there was good in you. Here's the key to Rythe's study. You may come and go as you please. If you need me, I'll be here. Do hurry. I miss my love so much. Do be careful.
And with that, Tivela has given us the key to Rythe's study. And it's clear that he is a very gifted painter. These are paintings that we've seen throughout our travels in Cyrodiil. It's insane to think that even just a stone's throw away in the Dark Brotherhood sanctuary full of cutthroats, they too have what appear to be some Rythe Lythandas pictures of the Great Forest. It's just a testament to his skill. As we look through his house, we see it covered what we assume are his own pictures, some Cyrodiilic brandy. Tivela has clearly set the table for two, so her story is holding up that she misses her husband and he hasn't been missing for long, as who would keep dinner out for two if she was actually in on his disappearance? Having a look in his private quarters, it is filled with pictures, also books, and of course, a lot of palettes, brushes and painting, as well as a nice little jewelry box that has some randomized loot and another chest which is hidden in a nook next to his bed. Downstairs in the basement is quite the collection of nice wines, as well as a book on the grey fox. It looks like he likes to do some reading and look at pictures, but also it seems that maybe some of these aren't the Rythe Lythandas specials. There is a chest that has some random loot in it as well, but outside of that, there's not much to see inside his house. Heading to his study, where Tivela has pointed us,
please hurry, I fear Rythe is in danger.
We unlock the study with his key, and we see that his art studio is as he left it. Now there is somewhat unfinished painting on the ground, as well as more paintings which you don't see anywhere else in Cyrodiil, which is really cool to see, as well as a sketch of trees and a partially finished painting behind an unusual painting to the painted world. Clicking it, we're transported to a very unusual place, and there appears to be a dark elf standing next to the portal.
Oh, you startled me. Where did you come from? You look real enough. You must be from the outside. Oh, thank goodness someone finally came. While I'm overjoyed to see a friendly face, I'm afraid I have some bad news for you. You're stuck here like I am. Sorry to break it to you like that, but if it wasn't for that annoying thief, we wouldn't be in this predicament.
Tell me more about this thief and how we got inside a picture.
I was in my studio when a Bosmer wearing dark clothing accosted me. Before I could call for help, he knocked me unconscious. When I came to, I found that the door to my studio was still locked and that the thief had snatched my paintbrush. That's when I saw it. There was something on the canvas of my painting that I hadn't put there. It looked somewhat like a troll, but it was badly done. Then it hit me. The Bosmer must have leapt into the painting, then painted guardians inside to protect himself using the brush of true paint.
I have so many questions. How did the thief know to use this brush of true paint?
I knew the secret of my success would be revealed one day. I can tell you all about the brush if you like.
Now, just like his wife, you can say, no thanks, how do we get out of here to speed things up?
Our only hope is to defeat the painted trolls.
But to learn more, say please do.
Very well. The brush showed up several years ago in the possession of an artist who was serving in the Arnesian War of 396. It seems an errant fireball had exploded next to him, and he lost the use of both arms. He was a stubborn man who didn't want to give up his talent. Being a devout follower of Dibella, he prayed to her for something that would allow him to express himself once more. She heard his plea and gifted him with the brush. It's said the bristles of the brush are woven from Dibella's own hair. That injured man was my father. He passed the brush on to me, and I intend to pass it along to my kin one day. Did you want to know how it works?
A fantastical story to be sure, but you can say, no need, I must be going.
Thank you. You're kind to help someone you've just met. The only thing standing in our way are the painted trolls.
Or, if it piques your curiosity, yes, how does it work?
The brush allows the artist to paint from within a canvas. It opens a portal into which the artist may enter to paint things life-sized. All the painter has to do is have the brush in his possession, and whatever he imagines appears in the canvas. Of course, I like to wave it around anyway. It makes me feel more like a legitimate painter. I guess it all doesn't matter now. Unless you can defeat those painted trolls, we have no chance of getting the brush back.
So these painted trolls are alive? How do we deal with these painted trolls?
The trolls that the thief painted seem to have turned on their creator and killed him. He didn't know the brush had its risks. The creatures are now loose all over the forest, and in the clearing where I was still working. The brush is on the body of the Bosmer thief there. I will not be able to help you. I am not a warrior. But take these bottles of turpentine. They might help. Do be careful.
And with that, Rythe Lythandas has given us some turpentine and told us that he's not much of a warrior, so we can't count on him to help us. But what more does he know about the trolls?
I'll have to remember to remove the trolls from my painting before I complete this piece.
That's assuming we get out of this alive.
Any luck yet?
Very insistent. He asks us if we have any luck yet.
Be cautious, friend.
So, as we head into this glorious painted world that looks a lot like the Great Forest, except in more of an oil painting style, it's ironic that Yulene, we originally spoke to, has different ideas on the Aedra and their abilities to affect the mortal plane.
You worship the 9 divines, perhaps. Have they ever helped or harmed you? Of course not. Now worship a Daedra Lord and you get effects. Bad ones, of course, but clear and measurable effects.
This glorious world all sprung forth from one of the hairs of Dibella. If what Rythe has said is true, Dibella has definitely had a hand in creating this world. And what we know of the Aedra totally changes. The Aedra are supposedly not to interfere, but here we are, encountering our very first troll who has totally, now not utilizing the turpentine. It's clear that these trolls are very formidable and also that they're regenerating health at an alarming rate. Worse yet, they can heal through damage, so it's going to be difficult to take them down. Now, with my Blackwater blade, this actually saps their fatigue, so it should aid in actually slowing them down. When it runs out of fatigue, it is actually being knocked to the ground, which gives me a little bit of an edge, but it's incredibly difficult to defeat them. Finally, we take out the first painted troll and are rewarded with Fortify Magic, Fortify Health Painted Troll Fat, which is unique to this quest. Heading towards the next troll, we deem it probably smart to actually use the turpentine on our blade this time. Again, the troll rushed my skeleton, but was much easier to actually kill. After having a particularly hard battle with the troll, I decide to take a rest near these rocks before we move on to what appears to be the end two trolls in the clearing.
Any luck yet?
And a surprise by Rythe Lythandas himself coming out of nowhere.
Be cautious, friend.
I think this is a quest glitch, but there's not much I can do about him. So we leave him here, hopefully because he said he wasn't a fighter, and try and use a ranged attack to make our job easier. 2 turpentine left. My arrow hits true. However, the troll rushes me with still some health. Fortunately, it runs towards Rythe, and he amazingly one hit kills the troll. This is beyond belief. I don't know if the developers had intended for that to happen, but he seems to be walking back to his original spot. So we leave Rythe to wander off and decide to take on the last troll. We see the clearing as the painting loses its effect. It seems to be the border of where the painting's edges are, as the paint is no longer there, and we see canvas, rocks, and terrain. Using the turpentine once more, the troll, of course, goes for my summon skeleton and gives me the ability to attack it from the side. I'm a little disappointed that this wasn't a more formidable troll, maybe a boss, but with that, we take the fat and head over to the Bosma Thief. The quest update reads, I've located the thief's corpse. I should now search it for the brush of true paint. Heading to the thief's corpse, I roll him over trying to understand how he would have locked Rythe in his own basement and it still be locked behind him. How does he know to use the brush of true paint? Whatever the answer, we take the brush of his corpse and it says, I've retrieved the brush of true paint. I should go back and return it to Rythe, so together we can leave this strange landscape. With the brush in hand, we start to look at the gorgeous terrain that is mirroring that of a painting amazingly. And we see the boundaries over yonder. Into the distance, it almost reminds me of what Hammerfell would look like, great desert plains that you cannot actually venture into because of the boundary. It's just one cell of landscape, but nonetheless, this is an absolutely intriguing and gorgeous quest that has somebody's put a lot of time and effort into. We can also head back to Rythe by jumping over the mountains, and it becomes apparent as we get over there that you can actually just head straight over, cut through, not have to deal with the 4 trolls before the final boss, and just contend with the final boss and get back to him in one piece. However, you don't get the unique painted troll fat, which you can only get in this quest. Heading back to Rythe,
Let me go paint us a way out of here.
He says,
Good work. Now I can paint the portal home. After it's complete, you must go first, or else you'd be stuck in here forever.
As we give him the paintbrush,
Follow me.
Rythe shows us his ability to create portals and how he works his magic. And we see a picture of what appears to be his study. The quest updates and says, Rythe used the brush of true paint to paint a door back to his studio. I should now step through and return back to Tamriel.
No time to talk. Let's go home.
I took one last look at this gorgeous plane of existence and head back to Rythe's house. We've arrived back in Rythe's home. The painting is now sealed and Rythe is safe. I should now speak to him when I have a moment.
Tivela.
Rythe, oh my love, you're home safe. I was so afraid.
If it wasn't for my friend here, you'd be right.
Come, you must need food and rest.
I will rest, but I must take care of our guest first. I don't know how to thank you. You have a good heart to help me get back home. I'll never forget what you've done for me. Here, please take this apron as a token of our friendship. It's not much, but perhaps it will help you in the future. All I ask in return is to keep the brush's existence secret. If word gets around that I have it, I'm afraid more than a lone cutpurse will visit me.
And with that, the quest, A Brush with Death, is now complete.
Safe journey, Seryo.
Before we go, we say goodbye to Tivela.
Please share the hospitality of our home. It's time for you to leave, my friend.
And Tivela's response is something you come to expect from Oblivion.
Safe travels, Sarah.
Heading outside, we put on our new apron of adroitness, which boasts Fortify Agility 5 points on self, Fortify Intelligence 5 points on self. Fortunately, it doesn't look great. It looks like an art smock, so it's not the most stylish outfit that you can wear. It could be somebody's cup of tea. Not mine, really, but it does have some fantastic stats. With that, the quest is over. We've been to a magical world and had a great time helping out one amazing, truly amazing painter that has brought a lot of joy to people in Cyrodiil, even if he doesn't paint it himself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, Traveler.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Isn't that abandoned house a bit spooky?
I don't even like to walk by that place.
So I've heard.
Anyone looking for work should consider the Fighters Guild. I hear they're always looking for recruits.
Go on.
We're all talking about the Emperor's murder. We have no Emperor, and no heir. That's never happened before. I suppose we should all be worried.
I've heard others say the same.
Have you heard any word about the other provinces?
I understand Daedra worship has become increasingly prevalent in the Somerset Isle.
It seems Somerset Isle has become a much more dangerous place.
Goodbye.